Okay, so Istvan, as we were discussing in the car traveling here yesterday, the world is uh, a more confusing and complex place than it was when we were younger. So this is my question, and it's one of the things that I'm kind of thinking about on my Camino is about the matter of truth and how we all pursue our own truth, and what is it that we use as a source for truth, especially as it relates to kind of the purpose for our lives. And I wonder if you, Istvan, and if you, Barbara, have any thoughts about that as it relates to your life.
Yes. First of all, we love the Camino. That's why we are here. Because sometimes the people ask, "Do you like to be here? Do you like what you do?" And we always say, if we wouldn't like, we wouldn't be here because we moved from Hungary from 3,000 kilometers from here.
Mm.
Uh, so that's why we are here. But the other thing about the truth and the purpose of our life. It's a little bit confusing what you said. It's the life is not black or white, and the Camino changed a lot since I walked first time in 2009, and that's why I'm talking about the truth and the purpose of life, because more and more people come here to walk the Camino, but this Camino is not what the people think or say about the Camino this time, and I think it is very closely related to when we are talking about the truth, because centuries ago the Camino was a pilgrimage.
Mm.
Which pilgrimage means for me, it's not in a religious way, but it means to get out from your ordinary life and to relax and think over your life and your thinking about the world. But now in the last years it's more about hiking, and we can do it, and we can show it, and that's why if we are talking about the connection between the truth and the Camino, it's a very confusing, because for more and more people they would like to show for the others. I could do it. I walk the Camino, and when they walk 800 kilometers from Saint Jean to Santiago, they cannot realize what is the Camino, and they lie to themselves
Ah.
about what their experiences were, and because they read a lot of books and comments and everything, and they would like to see what they read before, but this is not the truth. and
So
uh, and yeah.
I, I just want to make sure I understand what you're saying. Maybe you're saying that the Camino for many people has evolved from a pursuit of truth to more of an adventure and a challenge.
Yes.
Um, okay,
A kind of bucket thing
a
list,
kind of a bucket list.
and when we walk the Camino, for for us and that time for many people, it was it was the place to turn inside
Mm.
and asking questions from ourselves about ourselves, and it was more closing down and looking into our heart. And but yeah, now it's more about turning out and not to care what is inside. And I think for the Europeans, it's more that way, to get out of the comfort zone, to get to do something which is much more simple, which is time for ourselves. Forget the children at home, forget husband at home, forget the bills, forget everything, and yeah, it has changed a lot.
So, Barbara, has this experience taught you any truth or revelation about your life that you can think about or use on a regular basis?
Yes, because I'm always thinking that what isn't it enough to care about the present, the care about what is now. Why is it always to show outside who I am, what I'm doing, which is just an image, which is just a created something, and it's not necessarily the truth. It's just what I want the others to see me, but maybe I'm not that person. It's just like a costume. It's just like, I think nowadays many people have no idea who they are actually. They just wanna, they create an image and they want admit things to that image, but it's not who they are. And I think that's the source of this confusing word, because they don't want to accept who they are. Maybe they are not that beautiful, maybe they are not that smart, maybe they are not that strong, maybe they are, and I think it's not a problem if you are honest to yourself, and that's it.
But the problem is that the people, for me, in these times, the people are afraid of themselves. They are afraid to look inside. They don't want to. If I cannot write, for example, it's a very stupid example, but if I cannot write, I don't want to write a roman, just like any kind of a book I can imagine. I don't want to write a book about the Camino as Paulo Coelho wrote a book. If I don't write, if I can, of course I can. But I think it's a level of self-knowing when you know what you can. And it's not a problem if you are a butcher, be butcher.
Be a good butcher.
Be a good butcher, and don't
be the best butcher.
Yeah.
Don't be ashamed of it. And how comes to the Camino these things, because the Camino it's a small world. This is the small world in a big world. So when the people come here, they are just like at home, and that's why we say the Camino has changed a lot.
So do you think maybe many times people are looking for things that aren't really there?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Yes.
Yes. Yes. And many times we can hear people that they have an expectation like, oh, there are wonders on the Camino, and I just can't wait to see this wonder. And for us, it's just like, come on, just relax, enjoy,
when they are in Santiago, they realize
no wonder.
No wonder happened. And they come because, for example, they have a good or bad marriage, more bad marriage, and they wait until they arrive in Santiago, everything will be solved.
Yeah.
But nothing happened because the solution, we are the solution. And we can. And then I think it's not only the Camino. If you walk anywhere in Europe or even in the States, you can relax, and after you realize that I'm very tired after walking 30 kilometers a day, you turn into yourself and and you should be honest to yourself. And I think it would change, because for me this time the world is not honest, and that's a big problem. So in any case, and I think if you, I always hated. I've been living. Before I lived in the communism, which was a very honest society. But now I realized I've been traveling around the world in every continent, and I realized that was not only the communists. It's a very, very bad system, but the world is the same. But we call it capitalism, we call it liberalism, we call it anything. But it's nothing. It's not important the labor. It's important what is behind. And sometimes I hear stories from the people from the States or from the Australia, and I can realize, I can say they also live in communism, but they put the label on the communists. So okay, so.